Hello everyone, Equipment War here, and welcome to a new improved build guide on my Wield Duelist. My other one is a little bit hard for your guys to see what I mean, because you couldn't see my cursor, and now this time I'm going to be more clear what I mean when I talk about the build. So let's go right into it. I'm going to start building my passive skill tree as usual. Starting as a Duelist, took the physical attack damage and life. Always knows here. Took armor, evasion and life. Most of arena, really good note. I took that one. I took bravery, good note. I took art of the gladiator, which are a really good note. I took a dervish, which is a really good note for dual wielding. I have cloak and chain. I have Goron's blood. You can, if you don't must have cloak and chain, but I think it's a really good note, and it also gives you some resistance. A good amount of armor and evasion, so I think they are worth it. But if you don't want to take this one, just take this dexterity note here, and you will see you will save 2 points to take to something else. I have blade barrier, I have amber dexterity, and I have iron reflexes, which one of 3 keystones you can use this build. Keystones are passives, which are greatly impacts the builds you're building, and there are some others in the skill tree, like Eldor's Battery for example. But it's a really good one because you're using evasion gear, and the things you actually really need some armor in this build, because armor get buffed, so armor is a really good thing, and iron reflexes actually make your armor higher. I went up for this one. You can go up here right here and take like Constitution, and maybe take Berserking and Sentinel. You don't need to take all of the life here yet, but you're gonna take it later in the game. I'm just using a game called Survival Skills, and you get this as a quest reward in Act 2 by helping Una with one of her quest. And I don't remember if it was cruel or if it was normal, but one of them are. Just do all the quests on Act 2 and you will get this gem. But there are better gems in this one, so just don't consider this one as the best one you can get. I took a bloodless. I also have Hormone Therapy. You don't have to have this one, just depend on how much life you want to get back. I want to get my life back as fast as possible, so I took this one. It increases my life leech and the maximum life I can leech, and yeah, it just improves my leech, and even giving some damage when I'm leeching. I have Lust for Carnage. I have Juggernaut. And then we are coming to the interesting part. Here we have Blade Master, and here we have Cleaving. This is a hybrid build I'm playing right now. I use both an axe and a sword, but if you want to use for example, a pure axe build, you go for Slaughter and do not taking Blade Master. You don't taking any of this. You don't taking sword damage and attack speed and sword damage, and you don't even take this strength here. Just don't take these 5 notes here. Just put all these notes here, and the other 1 notes you can put on life if you want. If you want to do a pure sword build, again you take Razor's Edge instead, and you don't taking Cleaving and axe damage. So you can just decide if you want to do a pure sword build, or if you're gonna want to do a pure axe build, or something in between, as I did. I have Barbarism, I have Resolute Technique, and I have Armor Mastery, Diamond Skin, Strong Aim, Warrior's Blood, Heart of the Warrior, Born to Fight, and I have By the Blade. And By the Blade give bonuses to both axes and swords. So this one you can take either if you choose to do a pure sword build or pure axe build. So let's go to our gear. Using this rare sword here, the weapons you're gonna aim for, it is weapon with as high as possible physical damage and as high as possible attack speed, and try to get as good sword, good weapon, or axe or sword as you can, and that applies to both axes and swords. If you're gonna get an axe, get as high physical damage as possible and as high attack speed as possible. That's the most important thing. I'm using Soul Taker here. So the reason I can do attack without even have mana for it, you can see now I have 14 mana, and if I take away this lightning gem here, I have 0 mana. I don't have any mana at all. You can see my this one here, they are grey. I can't use them, but I can't use them anyway because Soul Taker, as this weapon are, makes that I don't need mana anymore. Mana is not important when I'm using this weapon. That's the reason I'm using it. And this is actually one of the big reasons why I use axe and a sword. It's actually because of this weapon. If you don't have Soul Taker, I'm gonna get to that later, but you can use a gem called Blood Magic instead, which are a gem like this. Then you use life instead of mana. And you have a lot of life leech in this build, so sustaining that life cost is not hard at all. Using Bringer of Rain, because it's basically a 7-linked item. You don't have to use Bringer of Rain. You can use a rare helmet and a good chest armor. I'm using this one because it have built-in melee physical damage, faster attacks, and blind. And this is a legacy version. This is the new version, and it's not that powerful as the old one are, but it's still powerful and still really useful. And also gave a good chance to block. So it's a really good piece of armor. I'm using Astramentus. You don't have to use this one. You can use a rare amulet which have life and resistance, and it actually probably will work just as fine, if not maybe sometimes even better. I'm using this one just because I have some intelligence expensive gems I want to use. And this build can run on low on intelligence and even dexterity, so I find out to using this one instead of taking skill points, but you don't have to have it. Using a defensive ring here. It's not the best, but it works. Again, I'm using this another ring here, and just some life and resistance. That's what you're gonna aim for on your rings, life and resistance. Using this defensive belt here. It's not the defensive glove here. It's not the best glove ever, but it certainly is enough. Again, life and resistance. I'm using this belt here for it actually increases my damage quite a bit. You can use a rare belt. Preferably, most likely you want to use a Rosic Stash with a good roll-on and some life and resistance on it. And I'm using these boots here, which give a huge amount of armor, and they give some life and some lightning resist. It's not the best boots, but it's good enough. And I think that's pretty much my gear. Let's take a fast look at the gems. And I'm gonna put a link in the description. My favorite damage setup for this build, it is actually Dual Strike, which right now I do 45k damage, and you can see how fast I am. And Dual Strike are supported by added fire damage, melee splash, and multi strike. And also it is supported by melee physical damage by the helmet, and also faster attacks by the helmet, and blind by the helmet. And that actually reminds me, I forgot to mention one thing in this passive skill tree, and that is Resolute Technique. I'm using Resolute Technique, which means you can't crit, but you can't miss either. This is one of the 3 keystones that I said before, and I'm sorry I forgot to say that before. You can, as an option, have Unwavering Stance, and if you don't care by the blind you have in your Bringer of Rain, if you don't have Bringer of Rain, take Unwavering Stance. It's not a question about it. If you don't have Bringer of Rain, take Unwavering Stance. And if you don't mind, if you don't care about the blind, take Unwavering Stance anyway. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's supported by 7. Will become a 7 linked item, pretty much. Another skill gem you can use, it is Cleave, which is working really well. But if you're gonna use Cleave, then actually you don't need to use melee splash anymore, because melee splash makes your single target attack to an AoE attack. So if the attack you're gonna use if you have a single target attack you want to use as your main attack, you must have a melee splash to be able to kill many enemies at the same time. But Cleave is a good choice to have if you don't want to use Dual Strike. Also Cyclone is a good choice, and you can even use Double Strike, and there are some plenty of other melee skills you can use. You can even use Reeve if you want, and you can use Infernal Blow, you can use Dominating Blow, but with various degree of power. The 2 most powerful you can use for a build like this, it is either Cleave or Dual Stack. They are the two most powerful for this build. And my movement skill setup, I have a movement skill setup. It is, as you can see, it is Whirling Blade, which are supported by faster attacks, and I also have a Leap Slam, which also supported by fast attacks. Fast attack makes the animation go faster, and you will Whirling Blade faster. By the way, if you don't have Soul Take, as I said before, you're gonna link your Whirling Blade and Leap Slam with Blood Magic to get that able to work, and that's pretty much my movement skill. The auras I'm using Hatred, Herald of Ash, and also using Arctic Arm for that increased protection. And all of the other gems is just gems I'm leveling up in my armor. I have a life leech and a life on hit, which I sometimes swap out with my added fire damage, just to get some increased life if I'm fighting a particular nasty enemy. I have a Dominican Blow leveling up. I'm leveling up Purity of Fire, Determination, Curse Need, and some other random stuff. I'm also leveling up an Ice Crash, which you also can use in this build. I have a constant damage taken set up. I couldn't find my gems for them, but I used to use a Warlord's Mark and some other skill gems. I just now forget the name of them. I'm sorry. But your constant damage taken set up, you can just use whatever you think are necessary. But I really recommending Warlord's Mark with a level 1 constant damage taken. And that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at this map. Let's take a fast gameplay here on this map here. I'm not gonna play too long because I don't want this video to get too long. I do my best to keep it a little reasonably short. These blue enemies, you can see that this is a really powerful build. I just kill enemies really quick and just die in a couple of seconds. And this is really powerful. I have actually been able to do at 0 with this build, but I have tried now, but I can't do it. But it's because I am a little bit rusty, if you want to say it. I am not did so much with this build, but I have been able to do a 0 with this build, so it is a 0 viable. But you need a little bit of skill to be able to do a 0. It's not the most easiest thing to do. But anyway, it's a really powerful build, and it's a lot of fun to play, and it's not that expensive build to build either. And I hope you guys like this video, and tell me a comment what you think about it. If it was something you don't understand in the build, if something I was unclear of, ask me in the comments, and I will be happy to answer that. But anyway, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you guys next time.